Man. Wow, man, freaked out.
Freak out, freak out. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And I got a box in the mailbox from a fellow by the name of Mitch Hull, the owner of Rapture Brewing Company and one of the creators and moderators on the Philip Fracassi fans Facebook collector group, reader group, whatever group, called Fracassi Freaks. And I'm a Fracassi freak, official Fracassi freak. Well, I just missed something called Fracassi Fest with much sadness, broken heart. Every day I'm thinking I would be heading to Tulsa, Oklahoma now. I would be in Tulsa, Oklahoma having drinks or dinner. I'd be at the fest, yada, yada, yada. I'm missing out. So sad I missed it. But the great fella named Mitch Hull, who put the fest on at his place, on his property, at his business, hosted it all, arranged it all, helped to arrange for hotels, blocks, and dinner reservations, and gifts and grab bags and all that kind of stuff. He said, okay, if I have any of some of these things available after the fest, who wants one? And I said, me. So there was a chapbook, at least I know, that was available. And he sent me a message on the Facebook Messenger and said, would you like a lettered version and a numbered version? And I said, yes. So it wasn't free. I bought them from him. What would you expect? The guy spent money to have stuff made. Anyway, they're Fracassi, Philip Fracassi chapbooks, and they're in. So let's take a look and see what it's all about. I've seen some pictures of chapbooks from the fest. I didn't see any. I don't know what's the difference between a numbered edition and a lettered edition. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. I don't know what all they look like other than what the covers have on them. Some people that went there, those people are folks that I'm very jealous of. They went there and they were showing off some of the swag, some of the cool things that they ended up with from Fracassi Fest. And right off the bat, right here on the tippity top, Mitch has included Fracassi Fest 24 and Rapture Publishing. So I said Rapture Brewing. He sells beer. He's a brewery. He has his own place there. But at least with these chapbooks, now he's getting into the publishing business. I don't know how much farther he's going to go in that venture, but it's interesting. So let's look in here and see what these Fracassi chapbooks look like. He's wrapped them all up for me and making sure that they don't get too busted up. The good thing about softcover books is they're not quite as fragile. You'd think hardcovers would be less fragile, and they are. They're tougher, but all it takes is one bump on a corner of a hardcover book and that joker's ruined. Whereas softcovers are a little more flexible, so they're not quite as susceptible. They tear and such. So I've got two different ones here. These are chapbooks, and they are, looks like they got different kinds. Perfect bound is one, and the other kind is stapled. I don't know. But here's the two. You can see some variation between the color, and I'm not sure which is which, but this one feels thicker. So I'll save the thicker one. Well, they feel the same. They feel the same. But let's pull this one out. It is called The Witch Tree by Philip Fracassi. We'll just pick this one first. The other one has a note in the back. I was looking at that while I was talking to you. So I'll save it for last. And we'll take The Witch Tree out. This could be a lettered, it could be a numbered. And again, I bought both of them, paid Mitch for them. And there is our chapbook. And yes, like this one is actually a sewn. So you have some chapbooks that'll be, I think, perfect bound as it's glued into a spine. And then typically this type, kind of like a leaflet or a pamphlet, will be stapled, but it's not. They did it the cool way, the nice way. It is tied, threaded, sewn in. So that's a neat way to do it. Mitch, good job, man. And then, so the cover and interior art copyright by Matthew McAdams. Neat cover artwork. It looks, and if you've read Sarafina, which most of you have not, I just read it. I just posted a review of it. I love that book. But this book is supposed to have some ties to Sarafina. And just by looking at that dust jacket or that cover artwork, I can now start to put 2 and 2 together. 2 and 2 is 4 in most circles, in most countries. Anyway, the special edition chapbook's limited to 150 numbered copies and 26 lettered copies, all signed by Philip Fracassi and Jeff Terry of the Jeff Word, as well as one of the moderators for Fracassi Freaks Facebook group, as well as the guy, I think, maybe the guy who introduced most of us to Philip Fracassi. I know I never heard of Fracassi until Jeff Terry started talking about Boys in the Valley. He got an arc from Earthling Publications, and he talked about how great the book was. It might have even been his idea to start a Facebook group. I don't know. So there might be some flawed facts in there. Mine is copy W. So I opened the lettered first. And I'm a fan of Philip Fracassi. I've read his 4 main novels now. He's got a couple other novels which I haven't read that are unrelated to the genre, but I'll get to those. One of them I might not get to. One of them, it sounds a little bit heavier than I'm prepared to jump into. So I have the book. Don't let them get you down. But hearing it described, I don't know if I'm in the right part of my life right now to read books that may be heavy, depressing. I don't know. I don't know all about the book, but I was warned, and I figured I would wait a while. But it has an introduction by Jeff Terry. And so I read this 4 main fiction novels. That would be Boys in the Valley, Gothic, A Child Alone with Strangers, and then now Sarafina. And he's got another one coming out next year, I think second quarter of next year, called The Third Rule of Time Travel. And anyway, The Witch Tree is, I think it is said you should read this after reading Sarafina. It's related, and it might have some spoilers, but I will show you there are some pictures in here, some smaller ones, and I just saw one. Well, I saw one, I thought. Somewhere in here. There we go. So there is a picture there, and also let me show you what the text looks like. The paper is kind of cool. It's colored. It's not bright white. I don't know what you'd call it. It's got a tint to it, and most of us readers prefer a little bit of tint as opposed to a stark white paper. But everything about this little chapbook looks so good. And the page count is 23 pages. And the last line is very interesting. And I think I know what we're talking about here. But Rapture Publishing has delivered. Now let's open up the other one, which, since this one is the lettered, and I bought a lettered and a numbered, this one will be the numbered. And let's take a look at the numbered edition as well. And I'm just glad to be able to get in. Now, I did request, when Mitch told me he had some available, I did request a number, but I wasn't sure if he had any left or not. So if he'd already given my number out, then no big deal. But this says Fracassi Fest 24, Sarafina, spoilers ahead. Beware. Thanks, Mitch. And number 55 at the bottom of the Rapture Brewing glass. So a really cool addition to the collection directly from Mitch. And that looks like a sticker. A sticker. Nice. So we, warning, if you got one of these, I think maybe you should read Sarafina first. But mine is copy number 55 out of 150 numbered copies. And you can see the cover colors are a little bit different. Still signed by Philip Fracassi, although in a different color than the lettered, and by Jeff Terry. And the numbered edition is stapled. So there is a little bit of a difference between the two, besides the cover color. I mentioned that a lot of these little chapbooks, pamphlet type chapbooks, were stapled, and the lettered edition was stitched and sewn, obviously more labor intensive, and so I can see why you would only do that for the more limited version. But I got some things in the mail for the Philip Fracassi collection. I've got chapbooks, and I've got novels, and I've got collections, and he's taken up a whole shelf now. Fracassi is official. He's got his whole shelf of the collection here. A lot of real estate, and he's just getting started. Anyway, thank you, Mitch. I do appreciate being included and getting a chance at some of the extras there. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. To do.